My name is Keanu Delgado. I'm on the product team here at Appian, and our session is on connecting your users with a total experience. Now, I want you to think of who your users are really quick for me. Who's your audience, and what kind of journeys do they go on? You probably aren't thinking of a graduating class of students or someone that's trying to pick up a new skill, but one of our customers definitely is. Today, we're going to hear how Appian lets Idaho connect with their students and an aspiring workforce in their state. Okay, so let's start with this. What do we mean when we say a total experience? Well, think of a time that you visited someone's website, and it was a really good experience. You came away from it feeling better about that company or that brand, and you knew that every time you visited that website, you were gonna be in for a pretty good experience and you're excited to visit again. You can provide that streamlined experience for your users using Appian. You can provide it for both your customers and members of your organization, and you can even connect them together in your end-to-end processes. And you can do it all with just one single platform. Appian lets you connect your users with your data and your workflows all in one place. Of course, that sounds great. That's the ideal. That's what you want. But how does Appian specifically help you get there? Well, with Appian, you can deliver user experiences easily using no-code tools and low-code tools. Appian comes with a rich, pre-made library of UI components. And you can use these to deliver a beautiful experience to your users, and they look great, especially when they're used together. Every UI that you build in Appian works on any platform, and you don't need to do extra work for it. It's cross-platform automatically. This will let you reach your users however they're using your app and give them an experience that they're going to enjoy. You can reach any of your audiences with Appian, whether it's your workers, your partners, or members of the public. And finally, we let you go even faster by letting you deploy with confidence. Experiences that are built on Appian power billions of transactions every single day across millions of end users in 72 different regions across the world. But to get any mileage from your application, you're first going to have to meet your users where they're at. Every experience built in Appian works on any user device automatically. This means you build your UI exactly once, and it automatically works across all modern web browsers and platforms. There's no need for mobile-specific expertise. Every Appian app works on desktop and mobile, and it's tailored to look good for each screen size. By not needing to rework your app for different platforms, you get to reduce your time to market and spend less time maintaining your applications. And your users, of course, are going to get a beautiful, rich experience with whatever device they happen to have on hand. And what's more is that Appian is constantly making it easier for you to develop these beautiful experiences using no code. And when you use our new features, you get the confidence that they're going to look good on each screen size. We'll touch on a few of these. We've added a few new options to improve the look and feel of your forms. You can create new dialog boxes and edit them to be wider or taller to fill up more of your screen, or narrower to provide a sleeker experience. You're able to add a form header with its own background color to really make that information stand out. And lastly, we're adding an all-new wizard layout component in 25.2. This is going to let you turn your longer and more complex forms into a beautiful and modern feeling wizard experience. Appian will also help you engage any audience that you work with, not just your fellow employees. Say that you're putting on a conference and you need to reach out to your attendees and you want to ask them some questions ahead of the event. You can send them a form. Or maybe you want to create a beautiful landing page that lets people apply to do contract work for your organization. Portals will let you connect with these larger audiences without your audience needing to log into Appian. You can build public-facing content in both single-page or multi-page formats. And if your users are on the go, they can download this page as a progressive web application, so they can see it right on their phone when they need to use it. And portals look good on all browsers without needing to build multiple versions of the same website. When we say you can reach a global audience, we really mean it. We've made it possible to localize every single page of your app fully to reach your audiences around the world. We've also made it easier to be more consistent with your brand. You can customize the URL that your portal is at, or you can even take your Appian portal and embed it onto your own external website so that your users will get a seamless experience where they already are, but with the power of Appian. We've also added a few new built-in metrics to our portal so you can track how many users are using your pages and determine if you need to maybe get a little bit more exposure for some of them. Now, for some, your workers are going to be on the go. And for that, the Appian mobile application has you covered. This app is ideal for people like supply chain workers or field engineers that need to enter their data while they're not at a desk. Appian Mobile is a native mobile app for iOS and Android. It's simple by design. Every single application that you build is mobile ready by default and works with the app. There's no additional costs to operate on mobile. And with it, you get enterprise-grade security controls and mobility using the app. What about your workers who are doing something out in the field? Maybe they're doing repairs and they don't always have a stable internet connection while they're doing their work. Well, using Appian's offline forms, your users can work from truly anywhere, even disconnected. When that repair worker fills out the record of their repair while they're doing their work and they happen to be offline, their report is going to get synced back to the server automatically as soon as they regain an internet connection. And your workers can still get a great user experience even when they're not connected, even when they're offline. You can make your forms dynamic to respond to user input while offline so that the user will have the information that they need available to them as they do their job. This year, we've made it even easier for you to ensure business continuity with offline forms. We've made it simple to create custom task lists that you can make fit your UX requirements. And it can show your users which tasks they still need to pay attention to. You can extend your existing applications to work offline with Appian's signature data fabric. That means you can use your data in your offline forms in the exact same way as you can use data in the rest of your application. And there's no more risk of that data being lost. When your users enter data while offline, it gets synced and saved to the user's device automatically, even while the app is closed. And now, users can see exactly when was the last time they had a network connection, so they know how up-to-date their data is when they go offline, and know when they're ready to use that data. We've made these improvements to Appian Mobile this year to make it perfect for supporting your disconnected needs, but at any scale. And whether you're online, offline, on web, or your app uses mobile, you can customize every single UI to reflect your brand. You get to control the exact colors and fonts that will give your audiences a seamless experience. You can even host your app at your own URL. And you can even wrap the Appian mobile app to distribute a fully branded application with your own custom app icon. This means fewer surprises for your users. Your users will know that they're always in the right place when they're using your applications. And now we've made it even easier to see how your brand is going to be reflected to your users in your application. Starting in 25.2, you'll be able to preview exactly how your app is going to look while you design the application. You'll get to see the same colors, fonts, and branding options that your users will see. And this will help you to tailor every single screen to match your brand on the first try without having to go back later once your app is already built and rework the visuals to match. All right, that is what you can achieve with Appian's total experience. And I can't think of a better way to show it in action than to let our customers show you what they've been able to accomplish. So please welcome Sharon Reberry from the Idaho Workforce Development Council and Dane Harrington from Ignite.
Thanks, Fiona. My name is Dane Harrington from Ignite Group. I was the implementation partner on the ground. We're excited to talk about Idaho Launch today and how Appian Total Experience helped us overcome some really exciting challenges. Sharon?
All right, thank you so much. Good afternoon. I'm Sharon Reberry, and I am the program manager for Idaho Launch. You might be wondering, what is Idaho Launch? But before I answer that, I do want to give a shout out to our governor, Governor Little, for his support of the Idaho Launch Program. So Launch is a grant program. Well, we have two of them. The first one I'll tell you about is for high school seniors. They can apply for a grant where they receive 80% of tuition and fees up to $8,000. They have to graduate from an Idaho high school and they must reside in our state. Their post-secondary training opportunities allow them to pick from about 90 different providers, which includes community colleges, state-sponsored institutions, plus a plethora of workforce training providers. And those programs that are offered for students must be aligned to in-demand careers. High school students apply through a statewide application, and then everything is transferred from Scholarship Idaho to Appian through an API. Our launch program for adults, we've had that program for a little over 4 years, and adults can receive 80% of their tuition and fees up to $3,500 for training opportunities. The only difference between the two is adults cannot use it for 4 credit programs. Everything has to be for workforce training programs. And their application is done directly through Appian. We just finalized new development working with Dane and his team at Ignite, and on Friday evening, we sent out 10,000 new awards to students.
Yeah, Appian World is much celebration now.
Yes.
After that. So Ignite was an implementation partner on the ground. So we have built a grants management solution that we've used across the state and local market. But we take that and tailor it to the unique program requirements of programs such as Idaho Launch. And Appian's total experience really allows us to do that tailoring to make it a perfect fit for Launch. Can you talk about some of the challenges we faced with implementing this solution?
I can, thank you. So our challenge was to find a solution that would allow us for the number of disparate users, I guess that's the best way to say it. We have participants who spend hours, maybe like 24/7 on their cell phones, to participants who only use cell phones to make phone calls. And so we had to find someone who would help build us an application that would benefit everyone. So from the beginning, once we met the Ignite team, we knew they were our right choice for this challenge. And boy, have they come through. So our applicants are anywhere in age from 16 to 72. Our providers are anywhere from our small one-man operation who teaches welding to large institutions like Boise State University.
Cool. So from day one, our challenge was how do we build a program to be equitable for all? I can't think of a user population that is more diverse than what the Launch program had. And thanks to Appian Total Experience, we were able to really fine-tune the experience for anyone that might be accessing these services. We'll double click on a few of these, but for example, the flexible UI UX, especially the Gen Z kids, they have very much a expectation that government services meet the demands of modern intuitive UIs that they're used to, and Appian allows us to deliver that no problem. Human-centered design was an essential way that Ignite took our approach. By talking to customers, talking to those providers, we understood their pain points and were able to iteratively develop our solution to meet their needs. Mobile first, anyone with a Gen Z cousin or kid knows they're always on their phones, so we had to make sure that this app worked flawlessly from mobile, otherwise we'd be missing out on a huge percentage of the user population. Appian's reporting and analytics capabilities allowed us to see what was happening real time and then make those changes nearly instantaneously to be able to iteratively improve the app to meet the needs. And lastly, Data Fabric and our low-code integrations allowed us to connect with different other enterprise applications. I think you want to talk about our Scholar.
Yeah. So with integrations, I would really be remiss if I didn't mention this one. So Appian integrates very well with other systems. So when our students come into the system, we have to verify that they are Idaho residents and that their identification. So they built an API to connect directly, integrate with Idaho's Department of Motor Vehicles. So it pings the Department of Motor Vehicles, and then it lets us know if that driver's license is good to go. Side note, we realized how many 18-year-olds in Idaho are driving with expired driver's license. So hopefully that kind of helps spark some kids to go renew their driver's license.
Right, but we're able to get that information, go ahead and quickly put out a UI to help them understand, hey, we want to help you, but you need to go ahead and go to the DMV, which no one likes to do. So another cool example. So we want to double click into a couple specific ways that Appian Total Experience specifically helped us. I talked about that concept of build once, use everywhere. For anyone that has done development in other technologies, they know how difficult it can be to take your app and get it mobile ready. But Appian's ability to build it once, deploy it to any medium that folks might be using, really allowed us to save a lot of times. Because as I mentioned, the high schoolers, they're going to be mobile first. Maybe some of the older population, they're going to be desktop first. We wanted to make sure that this app worked for every medium right away.
Yeah, thank you, Dane. So it has worked really well for those users that need the mobile app, but then those users who need a little more assistance. One additional integration that we have had, and it's a partnership that we have with our Idaho Department of Labor. So on the adult side, the adults have to go through the Department of Labor in order to get the application, in order to get all their documents. Super excited for the new document view though, that's coming. And so that integration with Appian allows those career planners to help the adults as well. So that persona-driven configuration allows our smaller workforce training providers then also to have access to the system to be able to invoice one-off, but it also then allows our big providers to bulk invoice.
Yeah, diving into that example a little bit. So we had built in a bulk invoice processing system because our first thought were customers like Boise State, where they have hundreds or thousands of students that need to process these applications really quickly. That was great for them, but once we start talking to those truck driving schools or the welding universities, they're like, hey, I'm a one-man shop. I only got a couple people here and there. I don't even really know how to upload a CSV import. So we said, great, let's take that. And we built a kind of a custom module for them to do one-off invoice processing in a matter of like days, maybe even hours. And Appian Total Experience was really just like a great way to meet the customers where they're at. Because a lot of legacy ways, you're trying to get them to cater their needs, and good luck trying to do that to one-man shop at a truck driving school.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Sharon, can you tell us about the success of the launch program?
I will. So you can see by the numbers on the screen here that we have had some great success. As I mentioned earlier, our governor supports launch wholeheartedly. So you can see that these stats that our public institutions have had an increase in their enrollments this past fall and into the spring for freshmen. We are also beginning to analyze the data from our private institutions, but our initial view at that is that the private institutions are also increasing their enrollments. What is really heartwarming is seeing that those students with a GPA lower than a 2.7 have increased by 23% their enrollment, which is really great. I would also like to highlight that our adult users, so because we have that partnership with Department of Labor, a year after the adults go through their training, we're able to look and see, and they are increasing their annual salaries after launch training between $15,000 and $25,000, which is a really good return on our investment. So if I have time, I'll share really 2 quick stories just so you can see this success. We have a student who I met with last week, and she wanted me to know her thankfulness, her grateful gratitude for being able to receive a launch grant. Her mother passed away when she was a junior in high school, and her dad had not been a part of her life, so she was living with her grandparents. The grandparents could not afford to send her to college, but this launch grant accelerated her ability to go. She is now in the honors college and looking at additional scholarships that she was able to earn through this process. And then on the adult side, one of the very first participants I had the opportunity to meet, it was a gentleman who had been a resident of the state. When he came out and ready to rejoin the community, he didn't know what he was going to do. He knew he didn't want to go back to the life he had before, but he didn't even know where to start. So he went into the Department of Labor office that was local right there to where he was staying, and they were able to work with him through that career planner and figure out that he wanted to be a truck driver. So he got his CDL. A year after, he was making about $80,000. And then he continued with the company, and he's now making 6 figures. And by the time I talked to him, he had just purchased his first car, which he never thought he would do. And then he started tearing up and telling me that he was looking forward to buying his first house, which had never been a dream for him. And so again, that just, every time I retell those stories, it does give me goosebumps because it really does talk about the return on our investment, but it also speaks to the platform because we have to have some way to help and get this out there and get people through the system. So
Yeah. Wendy's talked about the automation capabilities of Appian. It has saved her staff 3 full-time employees, and that money is able to go directly back into the program to provide that aid to folks. So you think of stories like that, there's 1,000 more across the state, really powerful. So thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon and Dane. I sense a trip to my local DMV in the near future. Those are some really touching testimonials as well. And to recap, Appian lets you reach your audiences and provide a beautiful experience to them using no-code and low-code tools. Appian lets you create multi-platform and cross-platform experiences without needing to do rework. You can reach any audience, if that's your customers, members of the public, or your aspiring workforce. And millions of users use Appian today all around the world.